Hi, 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 my beautifuls. How are you doing today? Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Mama D here. We're going to dig into part two of absolute bullshit. I feel like making a bullshit meter. I really do. But we're going to work our way through this drool. Never again, never, ever again will I do this for anybody. Do you know how much I love Jay? Never met him, just love Jay, and decided to go ahead and stick this through for you and him. I sat up till 4 o'clock this morning going over all the drivel that came out of MWT's mouth. And then thought, oh, God, I feel like this is just a waste of damn time. Okay, let me explain this to you, Mark. This just needs to go directly to Mark, just me and Mark. All right. I want you just to sit down in your chair, get comfortable, Mark. I want you to think about something. Whenever in your detective work did he said, she said, information become evidence? He said this, she said, no. All detectives that I'm aware of, investigators, even police, have something hard copy to back up what's being shared. But you chose to do a podcast. You didn't come on YouTube where you might have to show the message. You had access, you say, to most of their phones. Where are the screenshots? Where's the downloaded data? When somebody tells you, I received a message from the person that's missing, more important than what the message says is the time, the date, and the geodata from that message. You have none. 3 strikes, you're out. So basically, you behaved as though we were interviewing kindergartners and they had no phone devices. Just a message magically appeared in the room. There was no tracking it, no way to present it and say, here's what actually happened. No. You have showed us not one thing. All we have is audio. And now we've got these persons of interest all saying you chopped up the audio and made it what you wanted. They want you to play the whole audio. See how you gave them a window? Because you provided no proof for us and you provided no proof for them, but you got your $4, man. That's killing me. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Jaco missing. We will have radio silence on all our channels, just so you are aware, because it's also the same day that Summer Wells went missing. So June 15th, I don't celebrate these dates. I don't know why people think that that's when you're going to get, maybe they think, oh, we're going to get more attention because of the anniversary when we want to build up to this. But the truth is, they're always in my heart. I've shared a lot about the Summer Wells case. I've shared a great deal about the Jay Slater case. Y'all know where my heart is, and it's broken. So no, I won't be online tomorrow. I will be on radio silence out of respect for both Summer Moon Utah Wells, who was 5 years old, went missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee, just was gone, poof. There was so many questions. Why was her last photo of her in an outfit that appeared to have red stains on them, leaning up against, sleeping on milk cartons in the back? To this day, it just makes me shiver how easily a child can be just gone. Right? But children aren't just gone. Something happens. So now we have Jack and Lily Sullivan, who went missing back at the beginning of June. And this is also headed in the very similar direction, I fear. I pray to God that because it seems to be handled as an investigation into the parents and those intimately surrounding Lily and Jack Sullivan's lives, that they're able to come to a resolve and find them as soon as possible. When it comes to Jay Slater, we have a 19-year-old that no matter what happened, did not deserve this. Now, the conclusion that Mark draws at the end is worthless, in my opinion. And it's very demoralizing to me that he could draw that conclusion after sharing what he has found out. So Mark's able to draw a conclusion that this was all paranoia on Jay's part due to drink and rugs. All right, let's get on this. The first thing I'm going to show you, I shake my head already because let's get into it. So this is part 2 of MWT's Series 6 Jay Slater story, right? Let me close this other window. Lucy told MWT, on the night before, I was awake, before we'd gone home. He'd messaged me and said, I'm going on a mission. What the hell are you talking about? Let me see that text. Where, what? Show me that text, Mark. Show me that. I have a bug on my wall. I don't know what kind of bug it is, but it's crawling on my pretty wall. I know a squirrel, but I'm terrified of bugs, so y'all bear with me. It's not a spider. Okay. I'm terrified of spiders, but there's a little bug. Oh, to be at the fly on the wall, right? Where is this postmark that Jay went on a mission? We have the inquest going on. They haven't brought up that post that Jay's phone would have sent because it says messaged me. Where is that? That Jay started a mission. What the hell kind of statement is this? And when would it be? On the night before, when I was awake, before we'd gone home, he messaged me and said, I'm going on a mission. All that is her hearsay to build up that it was Jay's idea to go to Masca. That's all that purpose has served. Nobody else says Jay went on a mission or wanted to go on a mission or messaged them about a mission. Nobody else talks about no damn mission. And what kind of talk is that for this 19-year-old boy? I'm going on a mission. Next, Mark talks about Ahab. Now we hot. Ahab's all over ticky-tock, talk, quacking it up, saying, wait a minute. I wasn't talking about Jay with the cat. I was talking about Brad. But that ain't what you said, dude. We're going to bust that wide open at the end here because you didn't realize there's much more that was recorded, and it's all one little clip from you, and it would be impossible for you to be talking about Brad being the one missing. So that ain't going to hold water. No, you sunk your boat on that one. You're done on that. But here's a little part of it that we're going to be talking about much later. Ahab tells Mark William Thomas, in the end, I was like to Brandon, look, Brandon, one of your mates, let me get it on the screen for you. One of your mates yesterday walked away because he's effed off with the cat and he went missing. But there's more to it. See, that's not the full statement, but that is coming up. When you hear the full statement, you'll be like, well, that can't be Brad then, right? Because he's still in Brad getting caught. So can't be referring to Brad as yesterday walking off the car and still be standing in the tunnel for the whole 24 hours. No, no. Okay. So then it goes into June 30th, large scale search. Services included volunteer fire services. Hmm. So we have a helicopter, National Police, Civil Guard, volunteer fire services, and other equipment in the area on the 30th. But we also had it on the 29th when there was a huge fire. So were they really looking for Jay with all of this and then called the search off for Jay and was like, we did everything? Or were they handling this huge fire that they alleged the media was told that it was a drone, unauthorized drone? Right there, that timeline of calling off the search. So Brad gives his interview on the 28th, the 29th. We have this huge fire where we happen to have in Masca volunteer fire services, national police, and all this helicopter activity to put the fire out, national coverage with media and those that are searching for Jay. It's all happening. And then the 30th, they're like, well, we did everything we could. We're going to close it off. So huge fire in Masca. We don't even know what burned. For all we know, it could have been an establishment where somebody was held captive and they were like, torch it. We'll see a drone hit it. We'll blame it on the searchers. Club CCTV footage. So Mark decides he's going to go get all the CCTV footage. He doesn't follow up with us. He just basically says that he's got to come back at 10 o'clock in the morning and meet the guy that would have access to CCTV footage on the outside of Papagayo's. He makes contact with Papagayo's inside security and is told there is no CCTV footage inside. Then he says he went across the row to the place where he knew Jay and the two black men had visited at another club. We know that was Sugar Reef's. He was told there was no inside CCTV there either. So Mark William Thomas says that the two black men with Jay earlier in the night and after did not come into Papagayo's. How the fuck do you know that, Mark? Because you're going off a he said, she said. Because in the next statement, you're saying he is told by Papagayo security there's no CCTV footage inside the club. So how the hell could you even gander or speculate that wild assumption that they never went in the club? Oh, I know. Because you're believing the convicted drug dealer that likes to wear pink because he told you that. He's told to come back at 10 a.m. to speak to someone regarding outside CCTV footage. Mark does not speak further on that. Never comes back and tells us, yeah, I went back at 10 o'clock or, whatever. And I met with so-and-so and they said this. No follow-up on that. He says he went to another club that Jay and the two black men had visited. And there was also no CCTV footage there either. Inside. Okay. Thought you're going to have it solved in 3 days. Airbnb and Masca. Mark speculates. And I say that strongly because all this is mere speculation. Quote, he goes to the Masca, right? And he says, it's so easy to say how dangerous and treacherous it is, given Jay was heavily under the influence of drink and rugs. This was clearly not a good combination and would have impacted his decision making. Assumption that Jay was compos mentis and could make any decision, assuming his own mother doesn't believe that he was. She's asking, Is he even conscious? Mark, you have to be wacky to even draw the conclusion at that point that Jay gave it a consent to go. Ah, Zaxxon, thank you so much, lovely, for being a starlight. Appreciate that. Thank you. So, right now, Mark is already assuming so incredibly much without having a shred of evidence to back any of it, stating that it would have been a good combination, would have impacted his judgment, his decision making. Like we know if Jay could be making a decision. This is wild. This is wild. Jay was on a bed, y'all. Did you hear me? Jay was on a bed, not a couch. Oh, I know. There's a couple of you that are going to be like, well, it's probably where he was sleeping, so they called it a bed. No. Haji says he's seen Jay in the house on the bed. On what bed? On what bed? And if you've seen it, where's the video? Now, when me and my friends use Snapchat, there's a history on Snapchat. So any video you take is automatically logged in that. And people go, oh, no. You just don't know where to find it because it's in there. So, and the police know that. So if there was a video on Snapchat, now if this was WhatsApp, I can't tell you. But if it's Snapchat, this was a video, then where is it? So you've got Brandon claiming that he spoke to Jay on Snapchat video. So it's not WhatsApp, it's Snapchat. Where is this video, Mark? At exactly 21 minutes past 7, while Jay was in the house on the bed, Brandon tells MWT that Jay told him he was going to bed or whatever. At 7:21, Jay's going to bed, and he's literally inside the building and sitting on what Brandon says is a bed. What in the actual fudge? Unless you just didn't have that video snap at all, and you just assumed, since everybody's going with the narrative, that Jay was going to sleep, that he probably would have went to a bed. That's not the narrative that Quack Quack has been pushing. He pointed to the couch, said, mate, that's yours, handed him a blanket. Sweet. I'm out of here, right? On a bed. How are you guys doing? Hey, Brian Candy, good to see you. Hi, Isla. Shiv, good to see you. Madeline's Post. Hi, Debbie, Rach, Leslie, Crazy Cat, Zozo, Jennifer. How are you? Lovely. Welcome back. Hi, Mark Warren. Hey, Crazy Cat. All right, you guys, let's keep going. Jay sent location. Brenda says that Jay continued to text and send videos after the chat ended, meaning about seeing him on the bed, right? And Jay was outside again. Brandon asked Jay, what are you doing? He says Jay told him he started walking home, started off walking home. Brandon tells MWT, quote, we were laughing at first. Then I want you, what the actual flug is this about? These are the exact words that Brandon's interview was. So Brandon and Brad have duplicated the exact same scenario as if deja vu. It's a time loop, right? Remember Brad's interview? How he had to tell him how to put the GPS on and all that? Said, turn your location on. Had to tell him how to put his how to do that, right? That's all Brandon now. Brandon's saying that. Brandon tells Mark William Thomas, we were laughing at first. Who's that sound like? Then he sent me the location and we realized that, oh shit, as Wax says, oh shit, what? Realize what? Are you about to say Brad's line? When we realize how far he was, but you get sidetracked, right? Because then you remember Brad's already said all this. So you're like, but in this time, I think he'd gone off. No. But in this time, I think he'd gone to get on the phone with Brad. Then I rung Lucy, and Lucy rang him. So right here, we know that Lucy did indeed ring Jay's phone. We saw her outgoing message at 8:41. Then that was the last I heard from Jay. So there's a sliver of truth that Lucy did ring 8:41 Jay's phone. But Mark, that's not Jay. Okay, let's keep going. So Brandon goes on to say, well, actually, let's listen to this one. Is this the first one that had a soundbite? Oh, let me go back and play this Jay on a mission for you. Forgot to do these. Want to hear again? Let's listen to this one. This is about Ab telling MWT. In the end, I was like, Brandon, look, Brandon, one of your mates yesterday walked away because he effed off with the cat, and then he went missing. But there's more to it, but we'll get into it in a minute. Okay, there's more to it. Okay, then we talked about the search. We did the CCTV. There was no footage. Okay, how dangerous that was. Jay on a bed. I thought I grabbed a clip on that, but I didn't. All right, we're caught up now. We're on to the GPS. So this is what Brandon says. You can't hear it? Shoot. All right. How can I do it so you could? Can I play it on here? No. Well, that stinks. Okay, we'll get a couple of them that are important. We'll do this one. We will save this as media. Let's see, where can we throw it for just a minute? We'll go to Jay's file. We'll fix it, you guys. There'll be a way to do it. We'll go under recordings, and this is Jay on a mission, right? We'll call that one Jay on mission. Let's make a new folder so we don't have to look for anything. And we'll go live 06/14/25. Okay. Now let's find that file so that we can dump them all in there. It's a live, darling. You'll have to bear with me. Okay. So now let me present that one to you, and it's a video file. Hold on. Recordings. And once I find it, I'll be able to grab it every time. Okay, here we go.
I said, oh, right, I'm going now. I'll like to get the chair off me and come down second floor. He said, yeah, no worries. Then he rang me, he was texting me, sending videos, which were, he was outside again. Right. I rang him, I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, I'm set off walking, me lad. Like, they were laughing with me at first. Then he sent me the location, and we realised, like, oh shit. But in this time, I think he's already been on the phone to Brad.
Okay. So that was Brandon. Now let's go back up and let's listen to this mission one about Jay that Lucy says.
Of mind.
The night before, when I was awake, before we'd gone home, and he'd messaged me saying, "Oh, I'm going on a mission."
And what Qasim says, I believe, is very significant and provides real context to a number of very important aspects of the case. This information is revealed for the first time.
In the end, I was like to Brandon, look, Brandon, one of your mates yesterday walked away because he's fucked off for the and he went missing.
Okay. Something's wrong. I did something wrong. That's not the mission one. Okay, let's go to the next one.
On the phone, he said to me, I've been walking already for half an hour because I tried to tell him to go back. And he said, oh, I've already been walking half an hour. I'm not going back. I don't want to go back. I just want to go home.
So,
I want to ask Lucy more about her visit to the rental.
So Brandon is not only saying Jay didn't want to go back, that he said, I'm not going back, I'm going home. Okay. So this gets weird. Let's go to this one. It's not switching. Just a minute. Okay, maybe I got to remove this from the stage and add this one. There we go. Lord, bear with me. So Mark William Thomas says he spoke to a lady, and I'm guessing this is Lena Patel, but I could be wrong. He spoke to a lady that responded to Lucy's post asking if anyone could help her. The lady told MWT she picked Lucy up and took her to the Masca area. Using the video, maybe the stoop video, right? Photos and a pin drop. The lady claims that her and Lucy found the Airbnb that Jay had been at. According to MWT, she totally believes Lucy had no prior knowledge of the area. Okay. So, did you that Lucy talked? Let me get this voice one ready for you. We'll put this one as number 4. Lucy talked to Ophelia. Yep. Lucy talked to Ophelia. All right, so let's get back over to here. No, here. Lucy talked to a local. According to MWT, Lucy told him that after arriving at the Airbnb, she spoke to a lady who lived next door, whose brother owned the Airbnb. Lucy tells Mark William Thomas the lady told her that she'd seen him at the bus stop. He said he was getting the bus, but never mentioned seeing him walking up the hill. Lucy says she finds it weird that he left in a hurry with 2 knives down his pants, but he is fine. All right, let's go ahead.
Blah, 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 but never, ever, ever mentioned that she'd seen him walking up the hill. Like, she didn't mention that. I just said, oh, like, what did he say when you speak to him? How did he seem? And then she was, like, really emphasising, like, because obviously there was the language barrier there, but she was really emphasising, like, the stomp. She was, like, looking at me and said, you're, like doing a marching, like, thing, as if to say he'd left in a hurry.
How did she talk to Ophelia if Mark says Ophelia couldn't speak English, but then down the rabbit said she could kind of talk English, and then when it came to Warren and Zach, she didn't talk at all? Maybe she's got selective English ability. So Mark questions her later on. Questions Ophelia if she saw Jay on the road. That'll be interesting to share. But let me get on to this one for you. So then Mark meets with someone. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I've listened to PP. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I've listened to PP a lot in interviews and award ceremonies, and I know his cadence. I know his clicks. I know his ticks, and I don't care how much you disguise his voice. I can pick up on the ticks that he makes when he's thinking. And to me, that's who MWT interviewed. And this is what that person said. All right. So MWT speaks to an anonymous dealer who, under voice disguise, tells him there is not really a big dog, but that the Moroccans run the country. Everyone knows everyone and everyone drinks in the same bars. The anonymous rug dealer said, there's not really rules. You just don't mess with the Moroccans. No gangsters or mafia and all that. The only thing you must watch out for really is the looky lackeys and shite that happens all over the world. It happens here. Don't get caught selling rugs, he tells Mark. How interesting. I'll let you decide what you think on that. So then Ab, in a little voice thing, tells MWT he never saw Jay nick a watch. He never saw Jay with a watch. Ab says he was on his way home. And then he asks Mark, who's buying a watch at 6:30 in the morning? Now, Mark goes into a little bit of research. Now, this was quite in-depth that he went into. I'm not going to go into that. But Mark William Thomas reported that Potter's Cafe was ransacked, which is true, and robbed. His music award stolen along with a Rolex a few months prior. All true. The thieves filmed themselves back in London, smashing the awards after. So because they were in London, MWT says it's unlikely to be related to the watch in Jay's posts. However, I want to bring this up. I don't know, because of the way that it was timed exactly with PP's release of his whole getting out of prison kind of thing, and it was all about this type of shakedown mentality. A lot of people believe that that was a publicity stunt. And there are even those that claim to see raucous in that footage, which we do know that Ab and Rocky have been seen in Potter's coffee shops many times, allegedly by Josh, Lucy, Brandon, and many others, right? And Ab allegedly works there. So I find that interesting. Now, let's get into this. I want you to be able to see this. How's everybody doing? Hi, Mariah McDonald, the guy who made video off of PP robbery, called themselves Really Outside Crew. Well, PP's crew is really outside too. Oh, I don't care if it's spelled K-N-I-C-K. I really don't give a dang. If you have spelling issues, then you go do the work at 4 o'clock in the morning. Mark William Thomas speaks to Ophelia. I kid you not. When I say that, it's because what's said here and what's said later about the blanket. Mark William Thomas says, meaning Ophelia, she claimed he said bus, 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 and she said 10 o'clock and showed him where the bus stop was, as if the boy is so dense he can't see where the bus stop is, where the times are clearly printed on paper. Okay. She told MWT she did not see him after that. She did not see him after that. MWT says he had seen reports where she claimed to have seen him about 20 minutes later. But she clarified, that's not true. I never seen him after the bus stop, right? She told MWT he was alone. He wasn't carrying anything, not even a phone, no black bag. and he wasn't with anybody else. So the bag was found with Jay, but he wasn't carrying nothing. He wasn't, what? She said that at that stage, she believed the two black men were inside asleep. Then how do you know they're asleep? I thought you just had woke them up to move their car. Ab said you woke them up. You rang the buzzer with two men, right? To move the car. He thought it would be later, but no. It's at 8:30-ish. Okay. How do you know they're asleep, Ophelia? And why would Mark believe all this? So MWT didn't understand why she knew that for certainty, but she said she knew the black man were inside at that time. Okay. She didn't recognize the blanket, you guys. Yeah, the blanket. From the Airbnb wasn't from the Airbnb. Ophelia does the cleaning too and didn't recognize the blanket. Doesn't recognize the blanket. MWT asked Ophelia about the blanket that Jay had over him in the Snapchat, and she claimed she didn't recognize it because it don't belong there, does it? Kitchen knives. Lucy tells Mark that this Josh, who she believes, and she even says Josh wouldn't lie, but she just met him, but she knows he wouldn't lie. Lucy tells Mark that Jay, who says who they'd met on the plane. So now Lucy's saying she was with Jay on the plane with Brad, and they all met this Josh on the plane. He told her, again, this one disappears too. So it's just hearsay. He said, she said, guess what? Telephone game. All right. Jay sent him a video while smoking outside of two orangey yellow handled kitchen knives outside the Airbnb, tucked in his waistband of his shorts in case something kicks off. Lucy says she thinks it could be part of him going on a mission. What is she talking about? Where is this mission message? I want to see it. Okay, this gets weird. I hope I saved it. Oh, I've got the voicemail. This is where Ab screws up. So if Jay, let's go back to the knives for a minute. If Jay was leaving with the two knives from the Airbnb that matched the Airbnb, and he leaves and he goes up the hill, but then the knives are later back in the drawer, don't you think it means somebody caught up with them? Hold on a minute. Mark, you've made this documentary almost a year after Jay's passing. By now, you and I both know that those orange handled knives, if they would have left with Jay, and if that statement was true that Josh made, and the knives are back in, then we should assume that somebody caught up with Jay to take the knives off his dead body and put them back in the drawer. So if Jay stole this cat, did they find a whole bunch of it with him? Or are you trying to suggest that he was like, no, I'm not going to steal it. I'm going to take it all. And then I flipped out and I ran into the mountains. I'm not understanding. Because what you're saying don't make no damn sense. You're saying this is an accident, but this man is freaking out, but he's not scared. He's paranoid. He's freaking out, but he's not. There's no alarm. There's no panic going on. He's arming himself. He's a marked man. He's hanging out with convicted drug dealers in the middle of the Masca Mountains. He ends up dead, but hey, It was all on his own doing, right, Mark? That's what you're trying to tell us. Listen. Oh, I can't. Let me bring this one up to you. Did I do this one?
I just think that's also weird. Like, he's left in a hurry with 2 knives down his pants, but yeah, he's been fine.
Okay, hold on. We'll get this one for you. We'll number it number 5, and then we'll add it on. I told you we'd figure out so you could hear. Here we go.
I've obviously not seen this. He had 2 kitchen knives with apparently orangey yellow handles that he took out of the apartment, down it like, obviously, well, his shorts, down his shorts, and with his t-shirt over.
And these are the apartment where he was with the black guys, or his own apartment?
B&B, yeah.
The B&B, right.
Well,
so he took the knives from the B&B.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. It could all just be a coincidence, yeah, but I just think I'm going on a mission.
It could be coincidence, but she just thinks it's part of him going on a mission. What the actual fuck are they talking about? Okay, now we're into this one. Let's get this off and get this one back. Ed picks them up. This is going to be showing you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, what I'm about to share with you, you guys, is extremely important because they're doing damage control right now after this. And I'm about to show you what they're claiming in the damage control, the AAB and some of the, whoever wrote that for AAB could actually, fully communicate. So it wasn't AAB. So whoever this damage control team is, after what is about to be shared with Mark William Thomas shared, it doesn't fly. Because here's the deal. AAB is saying they stopped the car for Brad to take a piss. But Brad could not piss because of some cat. AAB says that Brandon and Lucy both were yelling at Brad to get back in the car. Brad told them to go on without him. All right, let's get this one. Next one, right? So just go on without me, right? The whole Haley comments heard that too. All right, now this is the moment where it don't work because I got the full voice recording from MWT and it's talking about this. Okay, we got to save it. Oh, this is where he screwed up because you can't be talking about Brad. Can't do it. It's not about Brad because it's the same day. You'll see what I'm saying in just a jiff. I got it right here for you. All right, before I add it. So AAB is trying to do damage control and state that Brad took off running from the tunnel and was missing for 4 hours. And so that when he was saying that he could, that he took off with the cat and he couldn't do anything with the cat, it was actually all about Brad because Brad was the one missing. And that's who he was talking about. AAB wasn't saying Jay took his cat. AAB wasn't saying that anything about Jay and cat. It was about Brad. Okay. Let's listen really what you say.
Kid called Brandon, so I'm like, Brandon, mate, what the fuck's your pal doing, like, do you know what I mean? Nah, yeah, and then I'm telling Brandon, oh, sort your fucking mate out and that, yeah? And then he's like, oi, Brad, mate, get back in the car. And then he's like, no, mate, just you lot go. And then Lucy's like, Brad, we're not leaving you in now, bro. Just let's go, Brad, let's go.
Okay. But let me see. I don't want to screw this off. This was what was really said, and I got it all. So AAB told Mark William Thomas. In the end, I was like to Brandon, look, Brandon, one of your mates yesterday walked away because he's effed off with the cat. And he went missing. tell this effing idiot to get back in the car. We're in a effing tunnel. So if at that moment he's saying, tell the effing idiot to get back in the car, we're in an effing tunnel, then obviously he's not talking about them being in the tunnel yesterday, because he's saying we're in the tunnel now. You feel me? Okay, let me get this saved. We'll go number 7. Okay, we're going to have to go on a whole new row. Who's climbing on me? Jack, baby, I can't right now. I'm sorry. Mama working. I'll play with you in a minute, though. Okay, here we go. Let me get it on the stage.
Oh, man, they're like,
Listen
lad,
close.
fuck it. They're like, that's like 2 bottles of Henny, lad. And then, like, they were just doing my head in. And then, in the end, I was like to Brandon, look, Brandon, one of your mates yesterday walked away because he's fucked off with the cat and he went missing. Tell this fucking idiot, get back in the car. We're in a fucking tunnel.
Uh-huh. So if that's Brad that went missing yesterday, then who's the effing idiot that needs to get back in the car right now? You feel me? Because we're in an effing tunnel. Listen to this statement again. One of your mates yesterday walked away because he effed off with the cat and he went missing. Tell this effing idiot to get back in the car. We're in an effing tunnel. It don't work. He's talking about Jay here, in my opinion, strongly. And there's no damage control here because he says, tell this effing idiot to get back in the car. He's telling Brandon that. Tell this effing idiot to get back in the car, and we're in an effing tunnel. And it makes me think of Lucy saying, I effed up. It was Brad. He was like effing off and blah, blah, blah. Something went wrong. Their game plan went to shit. And Jay ended up losing. But to say in damage control that this is actually Ab referring to Brad as yesterday walking off because he effed off with the cat is not possible, because he's saying, tell this effing idiot to get back in the car. We're in an effing tunnel. And he's giving the reason that one of Brandon's mates walked off yesterday and he's missing. That they're in the tunnel now. All right? So, no, your damage control ain't lying. Mark William Thomas says that Ab told him Jay left that morning taking with him Ab's cat. Let's listen to this. Let me get it loaded for you. We will call this one number 8. And let's go ahead and get it on the screen. We're doing it on the fly. Gosh, I'm so glad we're flexible and know all these programs, or we wouldn't be able to do it.
Steam says in the recording that Jay left the rental on the morning and took with him Qasim's ketamine. If you wonder why we've not heard this before, well, Qasim is not going to admit that he is dealing in drugs. His police statement, of course, made no mention of this. My intelligence, however, is that the rental location was specifically chosen so as not to bring attention to any illegal activity. So Qasim says in the recording that Jay left the rental on the morning and took with him Qasim's ketamine.
Now, that's not something that any of us would like to believe. I don't know if I believe it or not. I'm wondering if Jade owed money that he couldn't get out of his account for Ket, and he paid dearly with his life. I am wondering that. Now, Mark goes on to say Debbie didn't want this coming out. MWT, according to him, says Debbie didn't want him to release the info regarding Ab, accusing Jay of taking Ab's cat for fear of further shame on the family. Mark says he released the info now as he feels it should be further investigated and that it's vital to the inquest. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Let's get back over here. No. Yeah. No. Hold on, I got to remove this one so that I can add this one. I got 800 little windows I got to try to keep. Okay. Airbnb knives are orange. Mark William Thomas says he spoke to the cleaner at the Airbnb and she confirmed the knives do have orange handles and none were missing. You heard me right. None are missing. So it sounds to me like somebody caught up with Jay and disarmed him and put the knives back, huh? And made sure his little bag was found on him if he left without it. But here's the thing. I think this is all smoke and mirrors. I don't think Jay ever went to Masca. Not alive anyway. 2 to 4 a.m. after he said he knew he was marked. I believe that's the ticket. But this is the cop-out. This is where, in my humble opinion, we got the biggest sellout ever. And this is the conclusion that MWT draws, in my perspective. MWT says when Jay sent the message of having a mark on him, that he believes he was highly likely Jay was experiencing paranoia from drinking rugs. MWT says Jay's autopsy is consistent with an accident fault from heavy weight. Dim my head in. So tomorrow will be radio silence. I am going to do a Starlights today. It'll be starting around 3:30, I think, in about a half hour, a little over a half hour. We're just going to get a little bit done today, but tomorrow it won't be members and it won't be live. My channel, both my channels are going to draw to a radio silence out of respect for little Summer Wells, Summer Moon Utah Wells, the bluest eyes, the blondest hair, the prettiest of smiles, and absolutely was loved by everybody at 5 years old. Still don't know where she is. And also for Jay Slater, some radio silence. So what we are going to be doing is we are going, our member of the week is Nikki UK, and we will be building for her. Hopefully she will catch that we've made a time shift and that we're building today. I didn't see her today, but she could be here. But hopefully if you do know a way to communicate to her, let her know that we'll be building her Starlight Forever World home today. And also we have a big surprise because Prime Candy is about to get to see their finished home over in their forever home in our beautiful Starlight. So yes, when you become a member, we work slowly but surely to build you a home. Depends on where you are on the list. And it's very detailed. And we build it as a family for you. And that way you're always in our hearts. Whether you can afford to be a member or not, you always have a place in our Starlights. I love you guys so very much. And Nikki's here. She's here. Good. We're going to build today. But first, we're going to do the tour. You know, it's a celebration of Jay, of Summer, of Michael Vaughn, of Lily and Jack Sullivan, of all these missing people that don't have their voice anymore. Well, Jay's found, but you feel me. Because we have to honor our inner child, our creativity, and our imagination, and let them live vicariously through us to celebrate their life, to celebrate their beauty, their innocence, their love for life, right? Some are like to dance. Some are like to twirl and loved all kinds of games and things to do. Jay loved to dance. Jay loved music. Jay was always dancing, bopping, always smiling. We're going to go build Nikki UK a house, show Prime Candy, and you're going to be blown away, Prime Candy. I can't wait. And yeah, we just got done honoring Courtster. So this week, our member of the week is Nikki UK, and I will put in the community tab a link as well as a picture, a snapshot or two of the beautiful build. We'll do last week's now because I have to build the house first. So it'll be Ocean Deep's No, not Ocean Deep. It'll be Prime. Yeah, Prime Candy. It'll be Prime Candy for the community post. But then once we're done with Nikki's, we'll broadcast her out there for a week. I love you guys. I will see you again very, very soon. I can't wait to build with you. Just stay tuned, my beautiful starlights. It'll be within the hour. I just have to wrap up a few things and spend a little time with my boys. Jack's been like trying to get in my lap for the last. Oh, come on. Oh, you're so incredibly heavy. This dog doesn't look like he weighs anything. Jack, stop licking. He weighs a ton. He knows I love him. Can you say hi to everybody? Can you say hi to everybody? All right. He wants down. I will see you again very, very soon. I love you to the moon and back. And probably Monday or maybe Tuesday. Depends if there's any new news to talk about. See you down in the members, the Starlights, where we're going to go to our Starlight world forever and ever. See you again soon. Love you to the moon and back.